What's up guys, DrFeelGood here, back again with another video prescription. And today I want to talk about the forgotten truth. Now I know some of you are thinking, oh hell, here we go again. What truth? I'm going to tell you. And you're going to love this. Now, there may be a few haters out there, a few disbelievers, but it really is the truth. Let me start by asking you a question. What is a game without a platform? What is a video game without a platform? Without hardware, without a console? What is it? It is simply and merely an idea. That's it. Let me give you an example. I have an idea for a game right now. I'm going to go ahead and, write it down and make concept art, things like that. If no console picks up my game or is interested, whether it be PC, Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo, my game is what? Regardless of the hundreds if not thousands of pages of concept art and text and stuff, things I've written down, what is it? It's an idea. It is nothing more than an idea. It could be a great one. It's still an idea. All right. That's one part of the forgotten truth. The other part, hardware or platform is nothing without a game / idea / software, right? Hardware without any software is just a paperweight, because software gives hardware instructions. So basically, a platform without a video game is a paperweight. It's that simple. These are the forgotten truths. Let me tell you why I call them forgotten truths. I call them that because both Sony and Microsoft have forgotten them. Most gamers too. A lot of gamers have. But I'm merely referring to Sony and Microsoft. This is not me attacking them. This is me giving you my opinion here. We know third parties pretty much run shit today. They do. All the gamers, the typical gamer today clamors for third-party games. NBA 2K, Call of Duty, Madden, Destiny, Overwatch. All these popular games, Grand Theft Auto. These are all games made by third-party companies. Sony and Microsoft go out of their way to pay these companies for their games. And in many cases, they're even paying for their advertising. I mean, look, did you see Activision at E3 2017 have their own booth and show off and have a press conference showing off their newest Call of Duty game? No. Who was showing it off? If anyone shows off a game, a Call of Duty game, guess who's doing it? Both Sony and Microsoft. Ubisoft had their own press conference this year at E3. They showed off Assassin's Creed Origins. Guess who else showed off the game? Sony and Microsoft. In fact, if they didn't want to, Ubisoft didn't have to do it because the other two still would. They're paying for these games. But what they have forgotten is that these companies need you. They need you. You don't need them necessarily. Well, in the case of Sony and Microsoft, they do need them. Let's just be real. They do need them. They rely heavily upon them, but I say they need them because they have very few exclusives. Both these companies do not really make their own content. That's a fact. PlayStation has Naughty Dog, who makes Uncharted and Ratchet and Clank, I believe. Then you have Microsoft that, of course, had Bungie or 343 that was making Halo. And you got Turn 10 that makes Forza. And you have the company that makes Gears of War. But they don't have many, they don't make many games internally. They really don't. not enough to support their console without any third-party assistance. So that's why I say they need them. It's a fact, it's not a jab. At least not yet. But they've forgotten that these companies need them just as much. Third parties need them just as much as they need third parties. It should be a mutual relationship, mutual benefits. Grand Theft Auto 5 without a platform wouldn't be shit. It would be an idea. In fact, it's real life, more or less. But seriously, and I got some proof of that. I really, really do have proof. Now I know some of you may be thinking, well, you know, they got PC if they want to do consoles. You know, that's really not an option for them. But I'll go ahead and explore that for you. I'll explore that for you. I'll give you some hard, stone hard, cold facts. I went to VG charts, and so you guys can look this up too. I know VG charts is not the most accurate when it comes to sales representations and statistics, but as far as having public access to the average Joe, it's the best we got. If you know one better, let me know. I know of MPD, but theirs is a little bit restricted, or at least more so than VG charts. But moving on. Let's look at a few of these popular franchises I mentioned, right? First up, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 sold 26 million units across all platforms. That's PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. 5 platforms, 26 million units were sold. Guess how many went to PC? 300,000. Oh yeah, PC master race, right? They make it sound like there's plenty of them. Nah, they are the biggest minority in my opinion. When I say biggest, I mean they had the smallest player base. But yeah, 300,000. This is why I say Sony and Microsoft have forgotten that third parties need them. You mean to tell me out of over 26 million units sold, only 300,000 went to PC? Could the budget of Call of Duty, could they make their money back off of 300,000 units sold? Hell no. Let's say Call of Duty Black Ops 3 cost them $50 million. Let's just throw a big number out there, $50 million. Not the highest, not the lowest, $50 million. Let's say they got every single dime from a retail sale. PC games cost $50. Hell, let's say 60. I give them a curve, $60 for a PC game, and they get every dime of that sale. Right? We know this is not true though. To make $60 million, they have to sell 1 million units. But we know they don't get all the money from retail sale. At most, they get 48. And we know Call of Duty costs more than $50 million because of you have the advertising budget too. I'm just going by the production budget. But 300,000 units sold? You didn't make shit. You didn't even make your money back for just the production budget. Did you even make back your advertising budget? You met one, but not the other. Maybe. Let's move on. Here's another example. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare sold 12 million units across 3 platforms, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. But PC only amounted to 300,000 units sold. Wow. 300,000. Man, they straight killing it. Yeah. Once again, Sony and Microsoft, you don't need them, they need you. Here's another example, the biggest one of all. Grand Theft Auto 5, over 70 million units sold across 5 platforms. But only 1.35 million were purchased by PC. If you sold over 70 million units, do you know that 1% of that is 700,000? So they have so the PC fan base is responsible for almost 2%. Grand Theft Auto 5 cost Rockstar over $250 million to make over the course of 5 long years. $250 million. That's not even playing into the advertising budget, but $250 million. You know they need more than $1 million to get that money back, right? They have to sell about 5 to 6 million units just to make their money back for the production budget. PC only going at them 1.35. Yeah, monumental flop. Here's another popular game, NBA 2K17. Sold over 5 million units. Only 30,000 were attributed to PC. What the 30,000? You know 50,000 is 1%. Yeah, 50,000 is 1%. They sold to less than 1%. The PC fan base is responsible for less than 1% of the overall sales of NBA 2K17. Another example, a big one, Battlefield 1 sold over 12 million units across 3 platforms, but only 750,000 went to PC. Yikes. Less than $1 million. Less than 10%. Greater than 5%, just barely. Isn't that something? And I'm pretty sure it required more money than that. Just like I'm pretty sure NBA 2K required way more than 30,000 units sold to make their money back. But let's keep going. This was a very overhyped game, and it led to being a disappointment. But Watch Dogs, the first one, sold to over 9 million units across 6 platforms. PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Wii U. But only 500,000 were purchased by PC users. 500,000. You know, 900,000 would be 10%. So they sold just over 5%. Yeah. But Sony and Microsoft have forgotten. They don't need these third parties. They need them more so. Another example, Titanfall 2. Good game. Sold roughly 2.6 million units. I think it's closer to 3, but what's it say, over 2.6 million units. But only 170,000 were purchased by the PC fan base. Wow. That's not even 10%. I'm pretty sure it costs them more than that. Let's see, $60. Well, a PC game is $50, so $50 times $1 million will be $50 million. But times 100,000 will only be $5 million. Let's say they sell 200,000. So that means they made, if they would have got the whole $50 from each sale, they made less than $10 million. Titanfall 2 costs more than that. The advertising, and they took years, they cost more than $10 million, I'm telling you. But that's all they would have made off the PC fan base, maximum, if they get every dime out of $50 for each retail unit sold. But that's not how it works. Star Wars Battlefront sold over 13 million units, but only 560,000 came from the PC fan base. Yeah. Sad, right? Here's another one. This game came in and took over, even won a whole bunch of awards it didn't deserve, in my opinion. Overwatch sold over 6 million units across 3 platforms, but less than 1 million were attributed to the PC fan base. Only 830,000 units. Wow. That's less than 20%. That's a decent number, but even still, you think the budget for Overwatch will be covered by just the 830,000 units sold? Even if it was, it would be just the budget. What about the advertising? So out of 6 million, less than 1 came from PC. And even in the case of Grand Theft Auto, out of over 70 million, only just over 1 came from PC. That's sad. Those ratios, all these ratios are horrible. They're all horrible. Here's another one. Last one. Assassin's Creed Unity. Over 8 million sold across 3 platforms. Only 580,000 goes to PC. That's terrible. That's less than 10%. That's sad. Hearing these numbers, do you think Sony and Microsoft need third parties? Because it seems to me, looking at these numbers, the bulk of their sales comes from consoles, right? Which means all the money these companies brag about in their financial statements and things like that, their financial hearings, their press conferences, they come from consoles. So who really needs who? It seems to me that you, the third parties, need the consoles because you will be making less than chump change if you didn't have them. 70 million units for Grand Theft Auto 5. Take away 69 of them. You get my point? Yeah. Consoles don't need third parties. Third parties need them. Sony and Microsoft, you have forgotten this. When you first started Microsoft, you did good. You had Blinks the Time Cat. You had more than a few games under your own belt. And you could have built from that. But you saw that money hadn't. Sony, you had a lot of games going for you. Maybe not too many, but you had a lot going for you. Whether it be studios you owned or whatever. But now you're doing the same thing Microsoft is. You're writing blank checks and catering to third parties. Quit spending your money begging them for their game. They make most of their money off of you. All you get is a licensing fee, which, to my recollection, is roughly about $12 out of the 60. That's it. And let's not forget, the PC online is free. So they're not making money off of that. They have to provide servers and still not make money off of it. Yeah. They need you, Sony and Microsoft, more so than you need them. And you need to make them realize that. You need to remember this and start attacking the industry like that. Put these third parties back in their place. Don't let them take over. They are running your consoles. You let them tell you what they want. You let them tell you how they want your consoles to be made, which is why you two got damn near identical consoles in the market, and you're making identical mid-generation upgrades, and you're both chasing fake ass 4K. It's not helping you, it's helping them. They're standing by watching you burn billions of dollars for this shit. And then they'll turn around and say, oh, you want our next game? Well, that's gonna cost you. What? But your game would be nothing without a platform. And let's say they use a threat. Oh, we'll put it on PC. Go right ahead. You hope to get $1 million? Go ahead, take 2. Put Grand Theft Auto strictly on PC. Let's see how well it does. You wouldn't have heard that we made $1 billion in 3 days statement. You would have heard there would not be a Grand Theft Auto 6. You don't need them. This is why Nintendo does not get a lot of third party, because Nintendo knows they don't need them. They want them, but they don't need them. That is the difference. And I really do feel people, they forgot that. This is the truth of the industry. Games are nothing without platforms, and platforms are nothing without games. But if you make your own platform and you make your own games for your platform, you at least have some type of stability. And more so, it gives you the edge because you don't completely need third parties. You still need them, but more so, they need you. This is why I call it the forgotten truth. Based on these numbers, I'm serious. Think about these numbers I've given you. To me, based on these numbers, either the PC master race is worse than the PlayStation fan base, and what I mean by that is they overhype and never buy games, or they are simply the loud vocal minority pretending and or proclaiming to be more vast than the console fan base. And they're not. They're not. Looking at these sales, the PC sales hardly even cover the production budget of most of these games, if not all of them. And I know you're going to mention some of the mid-tier games out there. I'm not talking about those. I never said it would never cover, but think about these sales. The mid-tier games don't sell nearly as well as these games. So it would probably be an even worse case scenario for them. And what about advertising? Forget about that. None of these games will sell in the tens of millions if they rely solely on PC. So Sony and Microsoft, once again, they need you. You don't need them. To be honest, to me, hell, the only reason the PC version exists is because the console sales paid for it. The reason you got Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PC is because it sold $1 billion in 3 days on 7th-gen consoles. 2 of them. That's why you got a PC version. Because the sales on the PC don't even justify the reason for the port. PC master race my ass. You make and run a game better, but you guys definitely don't pay the damn bills. That's another truth. You don't pay the bills. You talk that shit, but you are one out of millions. It is a fact. More people in the world have computers more than consoles. I will admit that. Well, let's talk about the typical console gamer. There are more console gamers than there are PC gamers. Most PC gamers are playing Facebook games and bite-sized experiences such as Candy Crush, Farmville, shit like that. The typical PC gamer is not buying Call of Duty. They're not installing Overwatch. They're not playing Assassin's Creed. No. I'm telling you. So Sony, Microsoft, once again, follow Nintendo's example. You don't need them. You put yourself in the bind. That's true for the last decade. And maybe you do kind of need them now. But get back on your shit. Start making your own games. I don't care if you buy off your studios and keep them working for you, but do that. But you don't need these large third parties from the likes of EA, Ubisoft, and Activision. You don't need them. You don't. All their profits, their revenue, 90% of it in almost all cases comes from you. They need you more than you need them. Remember that truth. Ideas need platforms. And if you support your platform even a little bit, that gives you a slight edge over third parties. But if you don't make any gains for it, you're putting all the power into them, in their hands. And right now they feel they got you because you barely make any gains for your consoles, Microsoft and Sony. You don't. Put them in their place. Help the game industry become more balanced. Third parties need to make great quality content. Make them pay for these sins of what they've been doing to us for the last decade, doing to you. You're putting yourself in debt by pandering to them. And you put yourself in more debt by paying for their advertising. And then more debt by paying for exclusivity. How does this help you? Debt on top of debt on top of debt. Do you see a profit margin there? You shouldn't. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. And as I always say, keep it gaming.